Join us on Facebook and Instagram. We are also excited to announce our brand new mobile app called Step Up 90. It's for weight loss and diabetes prevention. Go to the website and try our 30-day free trial. If you have any questions, again, give us a call, 800-788-0941. Remember, knowledge is power. longer you have diabetes, the more blood glucose changes your body's blood vessels and nerves. The high blood glucose can actually cause damage to those vessels and nerves so that they do not work well. Over time, this can lead to foot problems. The signs of possible foot or leg problems in people with diabetes include sores on your feet or legs, sores that do not heal, an infected area that is either red, raised, or hot, feeling numbness or tingling, which is a pins and needles sensation in your feet. The numbness and tingling are signs of nerve damage. Untreated foot problems can cause gangrene, which is a serious infection that can spread to the bloodstream. Untreated gangrene may lead to amputation of the foot. It is important for you to see a foot health care professional or a podiatrist on a regular basis at least 2 times per year. On a daily basis, you need to inspect your feet for nicks, bruises, scrapes, blisters, or sores. Make sure you check in between your toes. And if you're having difficulty seeing the bottom of your feet, use a mirror. Also check for changes in color or shape of your feet. If you do develop a sore or a blister, notify your healthcare provider immediately. Wash your feet every day, and when bathing, do not use very, very hot water or very, very cold water. Test the water with your hand before stepping into a bathtub. Dry your feet carefully, especially between the toes. Let's talk about diabetes and foot care part 2. We know that foot care in people with diabetes is very important. Here are some helpful tips that will help you prevent problems with your feet. Always wear socks or stockings with shoes. Avoid wearing high heel or open-toed shoes. Wear only all cotton in the summer or all wool in the winter socks. Change your socks every day. Do not use hot water bottles or heating pads on your feet. If your feet are cold, wear socks. Never walk barefoot, even indoors. Make sure that your shoes fit properly. Do not wear shoes that are too tight or too loose. Shoes should be comfortable at the time of purchase. Do not depend on shoes to stretch out. It's actually best to have your feet fitted by a qualified shoe salesman who understands diabetes foot problems. Do not buy cheap shoes. And depending on your money situation, this can help you prevent from getting sores on your feet by buying quality shoes. Never wear new shoes more than 2 hours at a time. And again, inspect your feet on a regular basis for redness, blisters, or swelling. Inspect shoes for worn places or torn lining or rough areas. Do not put over-the-counter inserts into your shoes. And you should change your shoes twice a day if possible. Cut your toenails straight across and gently around the corners with an emery board. If toenails are thick, then they need to be trimmed by a podiatrist. Never remove corns or ingrown toenails or calluses yourself. Have them be removed by a qualified health care provider for the foot, which is known as a podiatrist. Have your health care provider examine your feet on a regular basis. If you're smoking, you got to stop smoking. And exercise is also important on a regular basis. If your feet hurt during exercise, stop. Thank you for watching Diabetes, the Truth. you have experienced any deaths in your family over the last 60 days. It really starts in November 1st, and it's going to continue all the way through until February 14th. I I'm up to maybe 15 deaths that I know of from colleagues, friends, family members. Um, my brother died during that time period. So I get it. I understand what's happening right now. Everybody's feeling loss. They're not sure what the new year is going to bring. And I'm here to tell you today that 2023 is going to be a fabulous year. Fabulous. And you know why? It's going to be a fabulous year for me. It's going to be a fabulous year for me because I'm going to make it that way. I am in control of that. I am in control of my destiny. And you are in control of your destiny. And so I'm here with a word of encouragement for everybody who's out there listening to Sugar Busters today. We've been doing and streaming live all year, and we still don't have people watching, not like they should be. Not with the number of people in this country that have diabetes and prediabetes. 96 million with prediabetes, over 36 million that have diabetes. So I want all of you to commit that you are going to let 10 people know about this program that comes on every Saturday, 12 to 1. We're here, either streaming live or doing some of our programming that we've already recorded. And it's a certified education program by the American Association of Diabetes Educators. This is a certified program. And we need to get everybody to know about getting their blood sugars under control. And even more important, my focus this year, Healing Our Village, will be focusing this year on stopping hypertension. Because if I can stop hypertension, I can stop kidney disease. And I really want to stop kidney disease. I really want to stop people having to go to dialysis because their blood pressure is too high and they're not on the right medicines. And they're not taking their medicines if they are on the right medicine. So this is my year to focus on stopping hypertension. So we're going to be doing events. We're going to be doing concerts. Every Wednesday here at my building, we take blood pressures. We're going to be going into senior centers throughout Georgia to be able to find those people whose blood pressures are not in good control. So stay tuned because we're going to really be hitting the ground next year and doing a lot of really amazing things. And I'm just happy to be able to be here today in good health, to be able to talk to you about a new topic. I've never done this lecture before online. So I'm going to put this out there so that you all can actually see this lecture. And as you know, I'm Dr. Lenore Coleman, president and founder of Healing Our Village and Total Lifestyle Change, but I am also a pharmacist by training. What I do is help people understand how to take their medicines correctly. That's what I do. And we also do disease management. I have pharmacists across the country waiting to talk to you about your medications. And the way you can tap into my network of pharmacists is you join Village Club. And we'll talk about Village Club at the end of the program. But we're here to make a difference. You know, there are people who talk the talk. We are trying to walk this walk with you so that you can go into 2023 feeling good and make it through 2023 without any health problems or any health challenges. And that's absolutely possible. You could do that. It's possible. So I want everyone out there to really help me promote this program. And we're going to talk about medications because especially for those folks that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and God bless you, in your 80s. I'm trying to get to 80. I haven't got there yet. So that you are able to feel good, stay independent, stay in your own apartment, and not have to go to nursing homes, not have to go to boarding care homes, not have to go to assisted living. Okay, we want everyone to be able to stay in their houses if possible, or apartments, so that you are independent. And one of the ways to do that is using your medications correctly. It's so important. So let's talk about medications. All right, so I don't know if you know this, but If you look at how many prescriptions are filled annually, this number is in the billions. It's in the billions. All right? So you can see this is a chart that shows that the numbers are going up every year in terms of number of people taking medications. Now, what's interesting about that is most of the medications they're taking aren't the right medicine for them specifically. All right? So we're looking at 4 billion, right, retail prescriptions being filled by pharmacies across the country in this country. The United States uses more prescriptions than any other country in the world. Doesn't even matter if there are more people than we have. We still use more medicines. All right? So we have got to start doing things that can improve our health that don't necessarily require you taking a prescription, because most of you out there don't want to take your medicines. Okay, so 2023 is the year of healing our village, helping you to figure out how to take fewer medicines, not more medicines, okay? All right, now, a lot of people don't even know what medications are. They don't really know what they are. They call them medications, they call them drugs, all right? Is that the same thing? And the answer to that question is yes, they are. Okay, now, there are certain things that require a prescription that is written by only a physician or a nurse practitioner, and these prescriptions have to be written by that doctor. And they are trained, doctors and nurse practitioners are trained in how to prescribe medications based upon a diagnosis. So the doctor gives you a diagnosis, and then hypertension, for instance, and then they will prescribe for you a hypertension medication, and they should be prescribing the medication based upon who you are. Are you African American? Are you Caucasian? Are you young? Are you old? Do your kidneys work? Do your kidneys not work? There are all these things that should go into that equation regarding what medication needs to be prescribed. All right? So doctor's orders are required for you to get medications for your blood pressure, for your cholesterol, for your asthma. Now, when you go into the various pharmacies out there, CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, all of the pharmacies that are out there, you're going to see a whole lot of bottles on the shelves, These are medicines, some of them that used to be prescriptions that are no longer prescriptions. They're now what we call over-the-counter medications. And they come in liquids, they come in creams, they come in inhalers, okay? They come in pills, capsules, and tablets, all right? And you can buy those without a prescription. This is the issue. Before you buy anything over the counter, you need to go and ask the pharmacist behind the counter, is it okay for you to use this particular medicine that's in this pill or capsule or this liquid? Because it may interact with your prescription medicines. You don't know if they do or not. So even a cold medication, you need to go and ask the pharmacist, is it okay for me to use this? I'm about to buy it, and is it okay? And have a conversation with them. If that pharmacist is too busy to have that conversation with you, you need to find another pharmacy. Because the only thing the pharmacist is supposed to be there doing really is counseling patients and talking to people. And they also check prescriptions, but checking prescriptions should be the third in line. Okay? When I was a pharmacist inside a pharmacy, the number one thing I did was talk to patients about their medicines. I counseled every patient that came through my pharmacy on how to use the medicines. Every patient. And nobody came into my pharmacy, picked up a prescription without me talking to them. That's the way it should be done. If you're not getting that level of care and service at your pharmacy, change pharmacies. All right? There are also a ton of dietary supplements. Now, when I go to the pharmacy now, there's a whole row of nothing but vitamins and minerals and supplements. And many of you are using these. And you have no clue if they're good for you, if they're bad for you, if the manufacturer is the right manufacturer. You don't know any of that. You need to ask your pharmacist about that. So the moral to this slide right here is When you're taking medicines or you're taking drugs, all right, of any type, before you use them, you need to be sure 100% that you know what's in it, how to take it, and is there any problems with your medicines that you're currently taking. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, the reason why I'm trying to emphasize this is because there's something called medication errors. And medication errors cause at least one death every day. So somebody today is going to die of a medication that they're taking. They're taking the wrong medicine, or they're taking not enough of the medicine, or they're taking too much of the medicine. Right? And it causes injury in about 1.5 million people each year. Not over 10 years, each year. And we know that it contributes to hospitalizations. 2.5 to 5.7% of hospitalized children experience a medication error. And if you look at the elderly, which is where I'm focusing on this year, I'm focusing on the elderly. In the elderly patients are 4 times more likely than people that are under 65 years of age to be hospitalized for a medication error. They actually did a 1-year study in 18 nursing homes, and they found 546 adverse drug reactions in that study. So this thing is happening every day, and the people who are supposed to be paying attention to this are not doing a very good job. That's my bottom line. Now, many of you out there are on medications. This is what you need to know. It's critical that all of your doctors know what you're taking. So some of you go to internal medicine, you go to cardiologist, you go to your neurologist, you go to your gastroenterologist. So you go to your nerve doctor, your heart doctor, your eye doctor, your GI, your gut doctor. You're going to your podiatrist. You're going to all these doctors. They all need to know what your current list of medications are. And so I suggest that you go to one pharmacy to get these things filled. And then every so often, you ask your pharmacy for a printout of your current medications, and they should be able to do that real easy from their computer. And then when you go see your doctor, you need to hand that to them so they can reconcile their records with what medicines you're on. All right? You need to talk to your doctor thoroughly if they're starting a new medication, and we're going to talk more about that. But you need to also, if you're thinking you're having side effects, or you think you have some allergies, all of a sudden you get a rash, or you have trouble breathing, or you're getting indigestion, or you're getting dizzy, or your mood is changing, it could be due to the medication you're taking, especially if you've started something new. So in 2023, we are going to all start paying attention to how we feel, our bodies, every ache, every pain, every change in mood, all right? And if all of a sudden you start to notice that something's not right, you need to make an appointment to go get in to see your doctor. It's very important. Okay, now, what do you need to know about your medicines? Okay, you need to know if they're all compatible with each other, so you can mix these drugs together, all right? So for instance, there's an example. So if you're on a blood thinner, right, because to prevent clotting, you don't want to go out and get an aspirin, cold tablet, because that aspirin interacts with the blood thinner. All right? You need to track your medicines, and that's the way what I'm saying. You need to get a printout, or get a notebook and write this stuff down and carry it with you on a card, on a piece of paper, so that if you ever have an accident or you end up in the emergency room, you're able to provide them your list of medications, because they're going to ask you, and you're not going to maybe be in a position to really remember all of that. So write it down. Okay, it's when starting a new medication or all of your medications, you can see that is the third bullet point. Write it down. And if there's any special instructions, you need to write that down as well. Now, when you go see your doctor this year, 2023 is coming. I want you to start asking questions of your doctors. What questions should you ask? Number one, what is the name of the medication that I'm taking, and why am I taking it? So you need to know the name of your medicines, how to pronounce it correctly, yeah, how to spell it, and what strength you're taking, and how often you're supposed to take it. Once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, every 6 hours, every 4 to 6 hours. That's on the label. But oftentimes you're not taking it the way it's prescribed. And so that's why you need to have that conversation with your doctor. What medical condition does this medicine treat? When you print out your list of medications, for every medicine that's listed, you need to have a condition that is being treated for. So if you're on a blood pressure medicine, or if you're on 2 blood pressure medicines, you need to know that those 2 things are for my blood pressure. If I'm on medicine for my arthritis, then I need to have that medicine that I'm taking for arthritis. I need to know that's what it's for. So you need to correlate the medicines with the condition that you're treating. And if at the end of the list you have stuff on there that's not treating anything, you need to ask the doctor, why am I still taking this? This is all this first appointment that you're going to do, January, February, March. You're going to go see your doctor for that first appointment of the year. This is the conversation you're going to have with your doctor. All right? Now, you're going to make sure that the number of times they told you to take it is still accurate. Sometimes, if I'm taking a blood pressure medicine twice a day, for instance, let's say, and my blood pressure is better, maybe I don't need to take it twice a day. Maybe I can take it once a day. Or, oppositely, if my blood pressure is higher, then maybe the strength of my medicine needs to go up because the strength I'm on isn't working. So you need to, number one, not only talk about how many times a day you should take things, but also is the strength that I'm on the accurate strength. And then how much medicine should I take? And what happens if I forget? And we're going to talk about that some more as well. Other questions. Should I take the medicine on an empty stomach or should I take it with food? Is there anything that I shouldn't eat or drink? There are folks out there who are on medications that you shouldn't drink grapefruit juice. Yeah, you shouldn't drink. So you need to know, are there any foods you should avoid? All right, there are some blood thinners out there that if you eat too much green leafy vegetables, it can throw off your test result. So you need to know, or there not only are there any drug interactions, but you need to know if there are any drug food or drink interactions. How long will it take this medicine to start working? There are a lot of medicines when you first start them, you're expecting to feel better right away. No. It may take 2-3 weeks for that medicine to build up in your system for you to be able to feel the effects of the medicine. So what happens is you start taking the medicine, you don't feel no different. After a week, you stop taking it because you say it ain't working. Well, that's not true. It hasn't got to its peak effect yet. So you need to have that question with your doctor. How long will it take for that medicine to actually work? And will this medicine cause any problem if I'm taking other medicines? And is it safe for me to drive? All right, so a lot of you out there are on medications that can make you sleepy, that can impair your ability to concentrate, and maybe you shouldn't drive when you're taking those medicines. So those are medicines that you need to take at the end of your day so that you're sleeping during its peak effect and won't necessarily hamper your driving ability. All right? Now, what does as needed mean? Some of you are on medications for pain, for instance, and it says take 1 tablet every 4 to 6 hours as needed. You need to ask the doctor, what does that mean? Okay, well, usually it means as needed for pain, but you need to know, is it severe pain, mild pain? All right, how can I take it every day, 4 times a day? So if you're doing it every 4 to 6 hours, let's say you're taking it every 6 hours, that's 4 tablets a day as needed. So does that mean that I wait for the pain and then I take it? Well, that's not a good idea. Because you need to really, if you know that you're having pain and that pain comes about every 6 hours, you need to try to get ahead of the pain and take it before you know that pain's probably going to start coming.
Because it takes a minute for the medicines to get into your system and get up to their peak levels so that they help whatever they're trying to treat. So you need to understand what as needed means for you and for the condition that you're being treated. When should I stop taking a medicine? Nobody ever asked that question. People are on medicines they've been on for 15 years for something that happened 15 years ago, and they still taking the medicine. All right, so you need to know, will I be on this medicine for the rest of my life? Or is this a short-term thing that after it's over, then I can come off of the medicine? That's a conversation that you need to have with your doctor. If I forget to take my medicines, what should I do? Some medications, if you forget to take them, you can just take them when you remember. Some medications, you shouldn't do that. Some medicines you shouldn't double up on, okay? Some medicines, it doesn't matter if you double up. That's a really important conversation to have with your doctor because a lot of times we forget to take our medicines. All right? And we're going to talk about how to fix that as well. Now, what side effects can I expect? You need to know what are the common side effects of a medication. If you've ever asked for the package insert when you've gotten your prescriptions filled, sometimes a pharmacist will give it to you, and you start reading all the side effects that this medicine could potentially cause, you probably won't take it. That's why I usually suggest that pharmacists not give people the package insert. But we should have little flyers that tell people the most common 3 or 4 things that most people get from that particular medicine. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, because everybody's different and everybody has a different system and everybody has a different metabolism and everybody has a different digestive system, and all of that affects how medicines are handled by the body. So you need to know what the common side effects that might occur so that if they do occur, you know what to do. So it's not just a matter of does this drug upset my stomach? Yes, that's a common side effect. Okay, so the next question you ask the pharmacist, okay, so what can I do to stop that from happening? Because you don't want to have side effects, because side effects are not fun. So you need to not only know what the common side effect is, but what you can do to potentially decrease that side effect or make it go away or make it not happen in the first place. Okay, what am I going to do if I need a refill? How do I arrange that? Do I got to call my doctor's office? Can I just come into the pharmacy and get it? Is this prescription you're giving me, does it have refills? All right, that is definitely a question that you want to ask at the time that you get the medicine filled. Because this is the trick. Sometimes a doctor will write a prescription and give you 5 refills. But there's also a date that after that date, even if the refills are there, the pharmacist can't give them to you. So not only do you need to know if you can get a refill on that medicine, you need to know by when do I have to get it. Because if you come back in there after that fill date for the refill, they won't give it to you. You'll have to get a new prescription. And in 2023, to get a prescription, you're going to have to come in and see your doctor, because doctors don't give refills anymore over the phone. You got to come in and be seen, by and large. There's still a few doctors that will do some refills or maybe give you a partial supply because they happen to be so solidly booked they can't get you in. But by and large, doctors want to see you before they give you a refill. Now, each time you visit your doctor, you need to tell him or her about any new medications that you're taking that they might not know about. All right, because they need to be informed, especially your primary care provider. They need to know everything that you're taking. Okay, now, we talked about the questions to ask your doctor. Let's talk about what I should expect if I go to my pharmacy. Your pharmacist is an expert on your medications. If they should know everything there is to know. If they don't know the answer to the question, they should say, hold on 1 minute and let me look that up. If they don't say that, you need to get another pharmacist. Okay. Your pharmacist should be your medication expert. They should know everything, not only what's in the textbooks, they should know all the literature and all the studies and all the things that are out there right now that talk about the medications. They should be up to date on that. They can answer questions about your prescriptions and medications, but also about those over-the-counters. So you need to talk to them about that. All of your prescriptions need to be gotten from one pharmacy. You should not be hopping. One pharmacy. So pick a pharmacy that's close to you, that has good hours, right, during the week that you can get there to get your prescriptions, right, and keep all your prescriptions in one place. If you don't like your pharmacy, give us a call at 800-788-0941. We have pharmacies that we work with. They actually deliver. So we would love to recommend some of our network to you because our pharmacists do a great job. Never use the drive-through. Never use the drive-through window. Okay, you're not going to, this is not a fast food restaurant. Okay, you're not picking up some fries and a shake. Okay, you're picking up medications, which means by definition you need counseling. And so you need to get out your car, go in the pharmacy, and have a conversation with the pharmacist. All right? So no drive-through. Always go in. What should I do when I go to the pharmacy? You need to make sure that if you're having trouble swallowing your medications or you're having some other issues, you need to talk to your pharmacist about that. They may give you a liquid instead of a pill. They may tell you they want you to crush or break up the tablets. Sometimes there are pill cutters that you can buy that make so you can cut the tablet in half and take 2 halves instead of 1 whole if you're having trouble swallowing. Okay? Make sure that you read and understand that prescription label on that bottle. Sometimes they are so small, the writing, you can't read them. So you need to get you a magnifying glass so you can read your prescriptions and have them on a big piece of paper so that you can see what you're doing. All right? So that's very important. And before you take your medicines, you need to make sure all of them are in date, that none of them are outdated. You should not be using outdated medications. Before you travel, you need to ask your doctor or pharmacist to make sure that everything is going to work with your time zone you're going to. Bring the phone numbers of all of your doctors and your pharmacists. Be sure that you pack your travel bag with your medicines. Don't put them in your check-in bag. Take them with, you should have a travel bag that you take on the plane. The medicines need to be in your travel bag because let me tell you, you go to a different state, a different jurisdiction, you're not going to be able to get your prescriptions. You're not going to be able to get them. You'll have to see a doctor in that state to get prescriptions because pharmacies do not fill prescriptions from out of state. So you need this, taking your medicines with you on the plane is critical. Okay? All right. And don't just take a few. Oh, I'm only going to be gone 7 days. Just let me just take 7 days worth. Okay, all them people that couldn't get to where they was trying to get to this last weekend, all right? All those were people that only took just a few tablets because they knew they were going to be somewhere. Okay, you never count on that. No. You should have a travel set of bottles and then the bottles that you leave at home. Yeah. So, and especially if you're someone who travels a lot. Very important. Now, side effects. Side effects are defined as unwanted or unexpected symptoms or feelings that occur when you take the medication. And these are called side effects. They can be minor or they can be major. Minor side effects are maybe a dry mouth or a headache. Okay, major side effects is something that maybe causes severe bleeding. All right, something that can make you so dizzy that you end up passing out. Okay, those could be considered severe side effects. Typical side effects for most medications are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. When I was in pharmacy school, when they asked me the side effect of a medication, I always would be okay to answer nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Because every medication causes nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, and to some extent, all right? Headache, upset stomach, drowsiness, very common side effects. Bitter taste in your mouth, right? All of those, dizziness, all of these are what we call common side effects. Many medications cause that, so that's a conversation you need to have with your doctor and your pharmacist, okay? If you're getting a side effect, write it down. Write it down when it happens. So let's say you took your tablet in the morning and 3 hours later you're feeling a certain way. You need to jot that down, when you took it and now how you're feeling, and bring that information to your doctor. All right, so there's sometimes there's a what we call a temporal relationship. There's a time period that this stuff should happen, and if you have a side effect and the timing doesn't make sense, then it's probably not due to the medication. There's something else going on. All right. If you're having really a lot of problems with your medication, you need to get in to see your doctor as soon as possible. All right? Or have a conversation with them. Thank goodness for telehealth. This is a great telehealth visit. So you can have a conversation with your doctor via telehealth so you don't have to go to the office, and they can maybe be able to change your medication to a different medication, or either increase the dose or decrease the dose, depending upon what's going on. Now, a lot of people ask me about generics. What are generics? Generics are the same chemical medication that you got with the brand name. Okay? When drug companies first put a drug on the market, they have a patent. And that drug is got a brand name and is being patented under that name for X number of years. Once their patent runs out, then there are what we call generic houses. They're manufacturing labs that manufacture generic products. And so as soon as the patent is over, that generic house can then pick up the manufacturing of that medication, and it's usually half the price. It's usually half the price. So, but the generics have the same active ingredient as the brand name. Now, the generic may have different binders and different fillers, and it may be a different coloring and a different shape, but the chemical that's in there is the same. Okay? In order for that generic to come to the market, it has to be tested. It has to not only be shown that it is as effective as the brand name, but that it doesn't cause any extra side effects. All right? Okay. So if you are getting a generic, that's another conversation with your pharmacist. Make sure that there are certain generics that are better than other generics. And so sometimes people are on a generic that's not manufactured well. And so that's a pharmacist conversation. All right. Now, keeping track of your medications, you got to write them down. Pull out a paper, a notepad, whatever you need, and you need to write down the name, the strength, and how you take your medications. All right? And you need to carry that with you at all time. You also need to keep a copy in a safe place at home, and then one in your wallet or your pocketbook. Sometimes people put it on their phones, and I think that's a great idea. So everybody has the little memo function on your cell phone to type it in there, because you usually always have your phone with you. All right? Now, there are apps out there. You can get you an app, and it allows you to have it on this app on your phone for your medicines, so that you can do that as well. But just as long as you create some kind of file where all of that written information is in there. And then I already mentioned, before you take anything, you got to check the expiration dates. If you have young children or grandchildren coming to your house, please, please lock up your medicines. Put them in a place that they can't reach. If everybody's using the same bathroom, then you shouldn't keep your medicines in the bathroom. All right, so you need to keep them in a place, in an upper drawer, or up in your closet, or wherever you're going to need to take them. If they're going to be on your kitchen counter, put them in a little lockbox so nobody can get to them, because there are still so many children that get into their medicines and end up having poisonings, having to be taken to the hospital, and getting their stomach pumped because they got into their parents' or their grandparents' medications. So avoid taking medicines in front of them, because if they're young kids, they don't understand. They think you're eating candy. They don't know. And so if they see that, they'll say, oh, let me try it. And they don't know it's your medicines. All right? So taking your medication should really be sort of something that you do not in front of a lot of people. Okay. Following the instructions on the label is critical. If you don't understand the instruction, that's a pharmacist question. You should not leave the pharmacy without all of your questions being answered in terms of taking the medication safely. Don't take a larger dose thinking it's going to help you more. I have a lot of people say, well, I doubled up because that wasn't working. Well, you can't go around doubling up on your medicine, just like you can't decide you're going to take less. of your medicine. That's not the way it works, people. Okay? Doctors go to school a long time to figure out what they're supposed to be doing in terms of prescribing medications. Pharmacists go to school a long time to figure out how medicines should be used and be used safely. So it is dangerous for you to be making these decisions when you haven't gone to school at all and don't know anything about this. And please don't Google it. Everybody thinks everything on Google is like the Bible. It's not. Sometimes there's bad information on Google, people. Okay, if you have questions about your medicine, you need to ask a healthcare provider. That's what we're here for. That's what we train for. So talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist. It's very important. Now, it really is important for you to take your medicines on time. What does that mean? That means that you may need to get yourself a pill box. And I'm going to take a break right now to get some water. I want you to get some water too, and I'll be right back.
Epigallocatechin gallate, superoxide dismutase, glutathione peroxidase. Now, those are names you probably aren't familiar with, but you should be. Those are antioxidants known to fight free radicals. In fact, did you know that some viruses are actually alcohol resistant? One major study showed that by adding the epigallocatechins from green tea, it killed the virus on contact. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mark Johnson. I'm here to share with you an exciting new, technologically advanced, patent-pending green tea hand sanitizing wash from Handout Protection. Now, this is not your typical hand gel designed to just smear all over your hand. This is a hand washing sanitizer to cover your entire hand, both the front and back of your hand, in between your fingers and your wrist. This is a non-sticky sanitizing hand wash designed for convenience to take with you in your purse, pocket, or carry in your lunchbox. As Dr. Josh Ridge has stated, what goes on your body goes into your body. That is why we choose only the highest FDA-compliant ingredients, such as 75% isopropyl alcohol in organic green tea brewed with alkaline water. The only way to protect yourself and your family is to always carry a disposable package of Handout with you. This may be the only handout you ever need.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lenore Coleman, President and founder of Healing Our Village and Total Lifestyle Change. And today we're talking about using your medications wisely. It's a very important thing. I'm really focused on the seniors out there right now. So let's dive in. So it's important that you take medications safely. What does that mean? You got to take the medicine on time. Now, some people use meals or bedtime to remind themselves to take their medication. Other people use charts or calendars, weekly pill boxes. I'm a real proponent of pill boxes. So if you don't have one, get one. And then that way you can have all your medicines for the week all lined up in the pill box so that all you have to do is just open up the little door and take the medicine that's inside. Do not try to take your medicines in the dark. Otherwise, you might make a mistake. And anytime you're having any problems with any of your medications, write down what side effects you're having, write down how the medicine makes you feel, and then have that discussion the next time you see your doctor. If you're on over-the-counter medications, again, it's important to talk to your pharmacist before you buy them to make sure that there's no drug interactions with that particular medicine. It's also important not to borrow other people's medicines. Sometimes we have husbands and wives that share their medications. So no, just because it's your husband's taking a pain medication that works for him, that does not mean that it's just going to work for you. So no borrowing medicines, no sharing of medicines. It's very important. Now let's talk a little bit about abbreviations. When you're reading your medication labels, which you need to read and understand, if you don't understand, you need to ask your pharmacist, there are certain abbreviations that they put on these prescription bottles. So if they actually write the word PRN, that means as needed. If the doctor writes on the prescription that they're supposed to take it HS, that means at bedtime. So these are the way that the prescriptions are generally written for the pharmacist. This is our language that we read. And so generally these are, when the pharmacist gets the prescription with all these abbreviations, they're typing out in plain language for you on the prescription bottle. At that point, we are done talking about medications. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the end of 2022. This is the last day of the year. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I want to make sure that you know all the things that we're doing here at Healing Our Village. Go to our website, hovhealth.com. It shows all of our activities. You learn a lot more about us. Go to our villageclub.global.org. That's our Village Club website. That's our concierge medicine website where you can have your own doctor, your own pharmacist, your own healthcare team. We will assign you your people. They'll be your people that you can ask questions to, that'll be there for you throughout the year. If you want to know more about our Village Club membership, please call 800-788-0941. We're located here at 177 North Main Street in Jonesboro, Georgia, right next to the Congressman Scott's office. And we'd love to see you on Wednesdays. We do Wellness Wednesdays where we'll take your blood sugar, take your blood pressure, and we're doing COVID testing here as well. So whatever you need, we're here to help you negotiate your health care issues. And again, I want to thank you so much for everything that we've done this year and looking forward to working with you next year. Hello, I'm Dr. Lenore Coleman, President and founder of Healing Our Village. Did you know 88 million people in the United States have prediabetes, and that number keeps growing? Did you know that more than 2 in 3 adults in the United States are either overweight or obese? Healing Our Village is excited to introduce Step Up 90, weight loss and diabetes prevention program all in one. Finally, there is a guided mobile app that will help you lose 5 to 7% of your body weight and help you get your 150 minutes of exercise in every week. All of this is available on your cell phone, notepad, or computer. To install Step Up 90, all you have to do is go to www.stepup90 from your phone or computer and hit the install button. Once the icon is added to your home screen, you can create a unique login and password or use your Facebook or Google login credentials. Do you have prediabetes? Does diabetes run in your family? Well, once you log in to Step Up 90, you can take the diabetes risk test. If you score more than 5, you may be at risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Step Up 90 features the CDC-approved Prevent T2 program, along with their food log, fitness log, and action plan. All materials can be printed or downloaded for easy use. Our monthly calendar provides our virtual class schedule with a reminder 30 minutes before the class to help you remember. Are you looking for easy-to-understand lifestyle videos, healthy recipes, exercise classes, nutritional support groups, or a cooking demonstration? All of this is available with our premium package. The most unique feature of Step Up 90 is your ability to chat with your lifestyle coach, a clinical pharmacist, or a registered dietitian. These experts will have weekly office hours. They are there to help you achieve your lifestyle goals and manage your medications. Sign up today for Step Up 90. We have our basic package starting at $5.99, featuring our weekly Zoom classes, and our premium package at $19.99. Step Up 90, it is time for you to step up.